right, well, maybe this will be helpful for some people. In this week's Fox Forward, we are learning how to control a conflict. Dan Godwin sits down with an expert who breaks down simple but effective techniques to keep disputes from escalating.
Anyone who's ever clashed with a coworker, an old friend, or a family member knows the feeling is not pleasant and can sometimes lead to a rupture in the relationship that will never heal. The good news is that there are ways to turn conflict into something positive, and that process is something that is studied and perfected at SMU's Dispute Resolution Program. Angela Mitakidis is a clinical assistant professor in that program. She's also an attorney, but what we're talking about here will help keep you out of the courts. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Dan. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, when we're dealing with conflict, right off the bat, it is helpful to think of an iceberg. How so?
Absolutely. The proverbial tip of the iceberg, let's start with that. Usually in conflict, and in fact in any human interaction, we see what is displayed to us. So if you're angry with me, I see you shouting or yelling or being upset. That's the tip. What lies beneath the surface is possibly you feeling disrespected by me, or I have dishonored you in some way. You know, there are other much more complex issues going on. And that's why we like to use the analogy at SMU of the iceberg, because it's not just what you see, it's what lies beneath. So if you're aware of that, it's the first step in starting to deal with the conflict.
Okay, there are certain techniques that can be applied in virtually any situation. One of them is respond, don't react. What does that mean? Right,
so we teach, core dynamics in conflict resolution at SMU. But what we mean by respond and don't react, we have this knee-jerk reaction when we are attacked. So if you yell at me right now, I'm going to be on the defensive. You're going to see my physiology change. I may yell back at you just to defend myself. When I think it through, I become more rational. I'm able to answer more gently. I'm not able to do that straight away. So I always say, and this is what we teach, take a strategic pause when you're in conflict. Somebody attacks you, pause. It could be 10 seconds of breathing. It could be 10 minutes of breathing. It could be 10 hours. Whatever strategy works to distance yourself from the heightened emotion of that moment. And so when you do open your mouth to respond, it's on more rational lines. It's calmer, it's gentler. What happens with a response like that? You become more open to me. You become more open to even considering resolving our conflict. If I do it the other way, I'm just going to escalate it and we're going to go nowhere.
All right, Angela Mitakidis, thank you so much for the chat. For more information about what we've been talking about, we've got a link at our website. Just go to fox4news.com.